You found the leverage point. You scoped a V1 small enough to actually ship. And now you hit the question that decides whether any of that turns into money. And it's the question most people get wrong in opposite directions. If you're building for clients, you undercharge because you price the hours instead of the result. And if you're building inside your own business, you don't measure at all. You ship it, it feels faster, and it feels faster is not a number you can take to the bank. Either way, the payoff is real and the return walks out the door. So here's what I'm going to give you in the next few minutes. If you're a consultant, the 3 ways to price an AI build, and how to stop pricing your time and start pricing the return you create. If you're building inside your own business, the 3 ways to measure what a build actually gave back. The baseline, the after, and the delta between them, and the one rule that sits underneath both, no matter which side you're on. By the end, you'll be able to put a real, defensible number on the build in front of you, a price or a return instead of a guess. But before either, one thing has to be true. And it's the thing this whole module has been walking you toward. The number you can charge or the number you can measure comes from 2 places, not one. The first is the leverage point, the spot in the business where the value lives, the multiplier you named back in lesson 2. That's where the value comes from. But the value doesn't show up on its own. It shows up because you did the real work at that point. You wrote the detailed spec. You reviewed the plan before it ran. You steered it with feedback until it actually held. AI is not set it and forget it. There's no autopilot. That work, the spec, the review, the steering, is exactly what turns that spot into a build that pays. So when you price it, you're not pricing a magic trick. You're pricing the return that the leverage point and your real work together created. Hold on to that, because it's the whole reason you get to charge what the result is worth instead of what your hours cost. Let me take the consultant first. You built something for a client, it works, and now you have to put a number on it. There are 3 ways to do it, and most operators only ever use the weakest one. The first is fixed price. You scope V1, the lesson 3 discipline. You quote one number for the whole build, you deliver it, you collect. It's clean. Both sides know exactly what's happening. The client isn't watching a meter run. You're not nickel and diming hours. The trap is in how you pick the number. Most people set it from the bottom, what it costs them in time and tools, plus a little margin, and stop there. That's your floor, not your price. The ceiling is what the build is worth to the client. Say the build you shipped saves that client $30,000 a year, takes a job that used to eat most of someone's week and turns it into something that runs while they sleep. That is worth a great deal more than the afternoon it took you to spec it. And it should be priced like it, not like the freelance afternoon, like the $30,000 it returns. Price the gap between the floor and the ceiling on purpose. Don't accidentally hand the whole gap to the client for free. The second is value-based pricing, and this is the one that changes the game. Instead of pricing the build, you price a share of what the build returns. You tie your fee to the result. So the conversation stops being, here's my hourly rate, and becomes, this build is going to save you about $30,000 a year. So here's a number up front, say $15,000 plus around 10% of what it actually returns in year 1. Numbers like that are just to show you the shape of it. The real ones depend on the build and the client. But notice what that structure does. Your upside and the client's upside now point the same direction. The more value the build creates, the more you both make. It's harder to negotiate. You have to be able to show your math, and the client has to trust it. So it works best when the return is genuinely measurable and you've earned some credibility. But this is how you stop being paid like a freelancer and start being paid like a partner in the outcome. The third is a retainer, an ongoing monthly fee to keep building, keep iterating, keep finding the next leverage point in their business. This is the one you earn last. It makes sense after a first build has shipped and proven the model, because now the client has seen the return and wants more of it. For you, it's recurring revenue instead of chasing the next one off. For them, it's a build that keeps getting better and an operator who already knows their business. That's the path from doing one project to becoming the person they don't want to run their operation without. Most consultants start at fixed price because it's the safest. You graduate to value-based as your track record gives you the standing to ask for a share of the result, and you move your best, highest trust clients onto retainers. The direction of that arc is the whole career, from selling a build to selling the return to selling the relationship. Now, the other side of the room, you're not charging anyone, you're building inside your own business. And the question isn't what to charge. It's, did this actually pay? Because a build that feels faster and a build that is faster are two different things, and only one of them survives a hard look. Measuring is how you tell them apart, and there are 3 ways to do it depending on what the build was for. The first is the simplest, and it's the one you'll use the most. Time saved times what that time costs. Take the work the build replaced. Say it used to eat 3 hours every week. Multiply those 3 hours by the real loaded cost of whoever was doing them, then times 52 for the year. 3 hours times the hourly cost times 52 weeks. That's your annual return. And now it's a number, not a feeling. 2 honest cautions. Don't lowball the cost of the time. Use the real number, including everything that person could be doing instead. And don't stop at the savings. Set it against what the build cost you to ship. So you're looking at a return, not just a feel-good figure. Hours saved times real cost times 52, measured against what it took to build. That's the math. The second is for customer-facing builds, the ones that are supposed to bring in more customers or more revenue, not save time. Here, you measure the lift. How much did the number you actually care about move because the build exists? Say you ship a new feature and sign-up conversion climbs 5%. That 5 points times your sign-up volume times what a customer is worth over their lifetime is the revenue the build lifted. And this one has a catch that the first one doesn't. You cannot measure a lift if you never wrote down where you started. You can't claim that 5% if you never recorded the rate before the build. So the move is to capture the baseline before you ship. What's the conversion rate today? What's the number today? Ship the build, give it real time, and then compare. No baseline, no lift, just a number floating in space that you're hoping means something. The third is the hardest, and it's the most important because it's the one people fake. Revenue went up after you shipped. How much of that was the build? Everything moves at once in a business. The season changed, you ran an ad, a competitor stumbled, and somewhere in there, your build shipped. Pinning the rise on the build takes more than a hopeful glance at the chart. The honest version is a comparison. The customers who got the new build against the ones who didn't over the same window. Same conditions, one difference, the build, and you watch what the difference does. It's more work. It's the difference between a return you can defend and a return that's really just a vibe wearing a number. And here's the rule that sits under both sides of this room, consultant or in business. You don't ship without measuring the return, not because measuring is virtuous, because the measurement is the asset. It's not the chore at the end of the build. It's the thing the next build is built on. Without it, you can't tell whether V1 earned its V2. You can't walk into the next client and show what the last build returned. You can't raise your price or raise your own internal numbers with anything better than a feeling. The operators who compound are the ones who can point at the last build and say exactly what it gave back. And that proof is what buys them the right to do the next one bigger. This is the feedback discipline from the method, pointed straight at the money. You measure, you learn, the next build is sharper than the last. So that's the mindset, and that's pricing or measuring. You can find the leverage, you can scope it, and now you can put a number on it, what to charge, or what it returned. The last piece of this module is the fork in the road. You've been hearing both tracks side by side this whole time, building for other people and building inside your own business. And next, You pick the one that's actually yours, and the course follows you down it. I'll see you there. If you want proof this scales past a single build, it's the whole reason I'm standing here. Go look at ScaleBoss, a production business operating system, live right now with real companies running their operations on it. And I'm building Revistack out in the open on a budget that used to be flat out impossible. Its first piece, Brand Engine, is the tool that builds the content you're watching. Same value points, same honest math, just bigger. Go see where this goes when you want to. But first, come pick your path. It's the next one, and it's where real ROI splits to follow you.